some harsh truths that I wasn't expecting, did not expect, but learned throughout my journey so far. Hello beautiful people and welcome to LIPBALMKiXXX TV. So today we're going to be talking about 5 harsh truths that I've learned as a first time mom. I'm currently 34 weeks and 5 days. No, 34 weeks and 6 days. So tomorrow will be 36 weeks. Pregnancy brain. Oh my God. I am 34 weeks and 6 days. So tomorrow makes 35 weeks. So throughout this time, I've learned quite a bit, and I thought I'd share as a first time mom some harsh truths that I wasn't expecting, did not expect, but learned throughout my journey so far. And I'm also going to install this wig. I'm installing this wig from iSee here on Amazon. If you guys are interested, I'll have everything linked below. It came out super cute, super cute. This is the look. If you guys want to see the makeup look being done in detail, make sure you go follow me on TikTok at LIPBALMKiXXX. No TV, just LIPBALMKiXXX, 3 X's. And yeah, other than that, let's get right into the video. So here's truth number 1 about pregnancy that I have learned since being pregnant. The harsh truth. Your baby registry is literally not for other people to buy stuff off of. You are going to spend so much time making this registry, doing research, and people are going to beg you for the registry, and maybe a handful of people are going to actually buy off of it. And when I say a handful, I mean a handful. Now, if you have a super large following online, and when I say large, I mean like 100+ or a really strong community, you might have some people buy off of it. But as far as friends, family, people you have, friends you know online in real life, just people you've worked with and stuff like that, they're not going to actually buy off of your registry. And that didn't make any sense to me. I had family members, friends, old co-workers, like so many people know about my pregnancy. They knew about my registry, and like I can literally count on one hand how many people bought off of it. We ended up using it as a reference for things that we needed to buy for the baby. It is what it is. At first I was upset because I'm like, why are you asking me for the registry if you're not gonna buy anything off of it? And I had to remind myself that, you know, at the end of the day, my baby's gonna have what he needs. I was more so irritated that I put it together and took the time to do the research to put it together, and then you're asking me for it and you don't buy off of it. It just didn't make any sense for me. We didn't have a baby shower because we did not want people to travel and spend money traveling and then still spend money buying gifts. So we thought one way that everyone could still help but not have to really break the bank on a baby shower is by just doing the registry, and that still didn't work. So my next pregnancy, I will not be sending or posting my registry whatsoever. That's literally just for me and dad. And just know that going into your pregnancy, do not think that anyone's gonna buy you shit, because they're not off of there anyway. They're gonna buy what they want. They're just not gonna buy it off the registry. The second harsh truth reality I learned being pregnant as a first time mom is that you have to set boundaries for labor and delivery early on in your pregnancy, okay? And when I say early on, I mean like whenever you tell people, go ahead and set that expectation then, because if not, people will just assume when you're updating them or when they're checking on you or whatever that, you know, they're gonna be immediately around you whenever the baby gets here. And you kind of have to use your discernment and know exactly, you know, what type of environment you want to have that's going to mesh well with you. If you're going to have people there for delivery, if you're going to have people in the waiting room, if you're going to have people at your house immediately hosting them, you kind of have to know what you and your family want. Everyone's personality is different. Everyone's living situation is different. Everyone's relationships with their families are different. So I feel like everyone is different. There's no right or wrong, but I feel like you do need to set those expectations early, because if not, when it gets close to the end, it's just going to be a bunch of drama and chaos. And that's kind of what happened to me. I thought I set those expectations early. I guess I didn't set them early enough, and it turned into a shit show pretty much from my second trimester on. As soon as you tell people, be prepared to let them know your plans for labor and delivery. That way, if they feel some type of way, they can get off their chest now, y'all can get over with, and you can move on. I think it's very important that you have like a calm pregnancy and start practicing having relaxing environments at home. And when you're just kind of like arguing with everyone about labor and delivery, who's coming down, who's not, who's staying at the house, who's not, who's gonna be in the room, who's not, who's allowed to visit, who's not, who's gonna wear a mask, who's not, who's gonna kiss the baby, who's not. Like when you're arguing about all those things, it kind of creates a more stressful pregnancy versus like you being relaxed, focusing on you and the baby. So I don't care what it takes, set those expectations early and start creating that relaxing environment around your labor and delivery instead of letting people be so entitled. Some of the things that I've been practicing at home to try and stay level-headed and relaxed is, you know, lighting a candle, taking a bath from time to time, you know, buying myself new perfumes and stuff, treating myself to things that I like, and just kind of focusing on on relaxing and being stress free versus like arguing with people about visitation and essentially my boundaries. So set the boundaries early and start creating that peaceful environment within yourself and at your home. But candles here lately, I took a break from candles, and candles here lately have been like my woosah moment. I've been going to Dossier, buying my candles, lighting them in the evenings, kind of putting my phone down. My phone goes on D&D automatically every night at 9 p.m. This has been happening for the last year before I was even pregnant. And I've just been really taking the evenings to kind of like picture me having my baby, picturing him being healthy, picturing him being okay, picturing my contractions, picturing me surrendering during birth. And it's been starting with the candle, whether I'm getting in the shower, getting in the bath, listening to some music, listening to some positive affirmations. I've just been trying to shift my focus from anxiety around labor and delivery and visitors and stuff to like me welcoming my baby into the world. And I feel like that's super, super important. If you guys are candle people like me and you're trying to create that super serene type vibe at home, maybe your nighttime routine's a little bit more relaxing, or your bath time or your shower time or whatever, and you're looking for candles, I'll put it below where I get mine from if you guys are interested. They're freaking awesome and they really help me stay, I don't know, it just gives my space like a more peaceful and calm and spa-like vibe. And that's kind of what you want leaning towards your second and third trimester versus who's gonna be at the hospital. Doesn't matter. Light your candle and relax, okay? So another harsh truth I've learned during pregnancy is that you are going to go through one of the most intense spiritual journeys you've ever been through. And I thought this was just me. I thought my brain and body and mind was being dramatic until I saw another mom talking about it online, and I was like, okay, I'm not tripping. You are going to go through, from the time you find out you're pregnant, you're going to feel a sense of like urgency and pressure to work on whatever areas in your life that you have been putting off, avoiding, lacking in, whether it's mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, or whatever. It's going to come to the forefront and you're going to have to work on it. You're not going to have any choice but to work on it, because from the time you piss on that stick and find out you're pregnant, all this stuff's going to start coming up in your brain, because you're going to realize that someone's growing inside of you and you don't want him to have certain traumas that you have. You're going to think about all these generational curses that you want to break. You're going to want to make sure, you know, your plans are solid so that when he is here, he's coming into the best situation possible. It's going to put a fire under your ass, like in a literal sense. And you're going to feel this pressure to just like get it together, whatever that means for you. Get it together. Like you're gonna be like, okay, I gotta get it together for real. Like whatever it is that I want to do, whatever it is that I want to address, whatever it is that I want to change about myself, whatever it is that I've been avoiding, whatever this is that's triggering me in the back of my mind, I gotta unpack that. Like it's gonna be like you're gonna have to go through those changes. And it's hard to explain. The way I can explain it is like a spiritual journey, like a second awakening almost, but as a mom. And when you feel him kick, it's just a reminder every time. But you're gonna go through it, and there's really no cheat code or way around it. I don't have any tips and tricks but to go through it. Like there's nothing you can do to avoid it. It's a good thing. It's just not always peachy kingy. You're gonna learn a lot about people around you, about yourself, about what you've allowed, just about a lot of things, and you're gonna have to address it and unpack it. So prepare for that as a first time mom. Another thing that I've learned as a first time mom, this is a harsh truth. I feel like immediately you're gonna start leaning towards like everyone around you who has kids, or people you know who are also pregnant, which there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, you want a community that resonates with your new life and who you are now. But you have to understand that everyone who has had a baby or is pregnant, like everyone's experience is different. Everyone's body's different. Everyone's baby's different. So what worked for someone else is not going to work for you. Not necessarily. It may, but it may not. It's not like a black and white thing. Being a mom, having a baby, preparing for a baby, labor and delivery, none of that is like black and white. It's not some universal thing that is going to help. Every tip that everyone has is going to help everyone else. Just because you had a sweet pregnancy doesn't mean that the next person is going to have it just as easy. There's too many moving parts around pregnancy in our body to try and make one rule fits all. So yes, it's okay to look at them for advice or ask for tips and tricks and ask for their experiences and stuff, but you have to take all of it with a grain of salt, because your body, your pregnancy, your journey, your baby, that's you. There's not another situation that's going to be exactly like yours. So when people are telling you, oh, you bet not do this, or you bet not, you can't listen to everyone. They have their journey how they did. This is you and your baby's journey, and that's your story to write. Whatever works best for you. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with asking for advice. I ask for advice all the time. I do want to hear insight from people who have had either a lot of kids or maybe just one. I do enjoy hearing their insight, but I'm not thinking that it's their way or the highway, because everyone's situation is different. Just because you're being induced doesn't mean that you're gonna 100% have a C-section. That's not what that means. Does it happen for some people? Of course, but who said that that's what's gonna happen to you? You know what I mean? So you can't let the internet scare you. You cannot let the internet make you feel like you're doing something wrong, or you know what I mean? Do your due diligence and do your research and figure out what is resonating with you in your chapter at that time, and kind of just go from there. You can't let the internet raise your baby for you or go through your pregnancy for you, because it's you, your body, and your baby. Another harsh reality I learned, or I am learning pregnant as a first-time mom, is that doctors don't work for you. Like, now technically yes they do, but they work for the hospital or the institution that they're working at, and they're like, they don't have your best interest. I hate to say that, I hate to say it, but they don't, and I'm learning that as a first-time mom. Now, like I just said, my experience is not your experience. You may find the best doctor in the world who takes absolute damn good care of you, and it's just the best thing in the world. Good for you. In general, the doctors don't work for you. You are not their priority. You have to do your due diligence and find a doula, a midwife, or educate yourself as much as you can as soon as you find out you're pregnant. I made the mistake of finding my OBGYN and reading some reviews and seeing some good reviews on her delivery and assuming that we were this match made in heaven. She was African American. She has great reviews. They're saying she's patient. She does well with delivery, and she, you know, she had some really good reviews. That has nothing to do with the office, the people that are in there, the ultrasound tech, the midwives, the nurses. It has nothing to do with everything, okay? Those reviews are, you can't judge it off of that. You can't just assume that they're going to just be the perfect situation just because you read a few reviews. So I think that as soon as you find out you're pregnant, I highly suggest you to immediately start doing research on a doula or a midwife. And what they're going to do is provide you that extra comfort, and they advocate for you. So the doctor's there to get the baby out, okay? And get it out as fast as possible. I'm just being honest. That's why they push for C-sections, because C-sections on average take about 4 minutes. It is what it is. That's the truth. We're in America. If you're not in America, lucky you. But over here, this is what we deal with. So I say one of the most harsh truths I've learned since being pregnant is that the doctor is truthfully, and I can't stress this enough, not there for you. They're there to do their job. Just like the bitch at McDonald's at the second window. She's there to hand you the food. She's not gonna make sure it's hot. She's not gonna check it and make sure it's right. No, she's gonna hand you the bag, and that's it. Her job is done. When you get home, you might be missing a fry. They didn't give you your drink. You know what I'm saying? You don't, you know, it's all kind of stuff going on, but that's the thing. The doctors are there to do their job, and that is it. So you have to pay attention. You have to advocate for yourself. I made the mistake of trying to get a doula at the very last minute, and my patience and energy right now is just super low. So by the time I started doing research on doulas, when they started showing me signs of like being negligent, or I felt like I wasn't a priority, I fired both of my doulas and decided that I was being forced to just educate myself and go through with the labor and delivery with just me, my man, and my mom. I don't really have like the emotional bandwidth to force a doula to like be there for me right now. You know what I mean? It's at the last minute. I waited too long. I waited until the middle of my 3rd trimester, and you know, I thought that my doctor would be enough, but shortly after, with a few things taking place, I realized that this probably wasn't the best OBGYN for me, and that's okay. She's still good, but there's some things that, you know, do concern me, and I feel like had I done that research and had the doula or midwife from the very beginning, a lot of things would have been avoided, because they're professional advocacy and emotional support. So they're gonna make sure that you're asking all the right questions. They're gonna make sure that you're not being rushed into C-sections that aren't medically necessary. They're gonna make sure that you're being treated for things that need to be treated. They're gonna make sure that certain things are coming up in conversation. When the doctor's trying to tell you, you need this, need that, the doula and midwife is gonna be there for you. Even at home, they're gonna teach you about lactation. They're gonna be there postpartum for you. They're just gonna be like basically that motherly like nurse in-house for you. And they're also gonna be there while you deliver. So just go into it knowing that no doctor or hospital is absolutely perfect, and it's best if you have someone hired on the side to advocate for you while you go through that traumatic experience, because that's truthfully what's going to be best. So here is the final look. I absolutely love this. It is giving like cute snapback, like it's low-key giving like me like a year or two ago. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't worn anything like this short or this color in a while, but I think it's super cute. I also haven't had a curly unit in a while, so yeah, I think I ate it up. And I also like the shades of pink. I think it goes well with the highlights. Super duper cute. But if you guys are interested in this wig, I'll have all the information down below. If you're interested in the candles, perfumes, perfume and stuff I was talking about during the video to make sure you are as relaxed as possible throughout your pregnancy journey. I'll also have the link for that below for you guys to shop on your own. But other than that, that is it. I hope you guys learned something for all my moms or moms to be out there as far as the hard truths about pregnancy, or if you're planning for pregnancy, just know that those are some things to keep in mind. If you guys have any other questions, make sure you drop them down in the description box below. Let me know how your pregnancy journey has gone so far. And yeah, let's chop it up in the comments. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.